everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to use this Darkroom door bottle stamp. This is a new die from Uniquely Creative, Billabong, and a paper rose, what are they, clouds. So it does have lots of little clouds, lots of different shapes on the inside, the actual clouds and that cloud outline. So that's going to be a bit of fun. So I've die cut this, and we've just roughly cut this out of a piece of cardstock, and we're going to use both of these pieces. We're going to lay this up. So we're going to use first some YG97 and YG99 to give this grass some bit of, well, make it look grass, make it not look like white. And then we're going to use some earth tones just to do the top of the bulrushes. So I'm haphazardly just flicking on color here. I'm not worried about it too much. The top layer will get a little bit of blending, but grass is, and I'm also flicking it around everywhere. So I'm just doing this on a piece of scrap paper. It's actually something that I dug out of my bin, and we're going back over it now just with that lighter green. So it's really nothing flash, and I want to do more of this. I want to play with I have this poppy die, which I thought would be really, really cool. So E17 and E19, just flick some of the darker color over it. So it's really nothing very flash at all. And we're going to do that with both of them. I'm going to come back very shortly, and there we go. So we've got our tumble glass, and we're just going to smush a bit in the center there. I've dabbed off a fair bit just because I didn't want it too dark, and we're going to go over it with Stormy Sky. And this is where we're going to use our stencil. And we're also going to go around the outside too. So I'm going to mask off this. This is some painter's tape for delicate surface. I've never had much luck with normal painter's tape. I know some other people in America and everything use that, but I've never had too much luck with it at all. So this is a delicate surface, and I tapped a little bit off just on my hand sort of thing, just to take away some of that stick. But it's really good because it actually holds it onto the cardstock a bit better. So we're working with the Stormy Sky, and we're starting on the stencil and flicking upwards. You can sort of see that on the left hand side, and we're just moving it around. You could be alternating it between the other side of the stencil, but I don't know, I didn't want to mask off the rest of it, so I just decided I wanted to leave it with that one edge of it sort of thing. And honestly, I think the stencils, the other clouds are a little bit too close. That's the only thing about this stencil that I probably don't like as much. But it does have a lot of clouds. So honestly, I don't mind. And it doesn't really take too much. It's probably just me being a little bit lazy. So just snipping off the very edges there, because I've moved it along a little bit. So we have this fuller tuft of the bulrush, and this does actually come with a sort of a frame to it. Like the whole thing is actually a frame with the bulrushes down the bottom. So I've made this little frame for a Christmas card. So we've put some mounting tape up on that, and it's quite a tall foam. So we've cut that out. We're going to use our YG11 and C2 and CO. And this one we're going to mount it up with some narrower foam tape, some lower depth foam tape, just so we have those two different levels. I've put a little bit of the green in there just to give it that hint because it's sitting in grass. But we're actually going to chop some of that off. But it just sort of gives it, I suppose, a little bit of a hint. There's not really that much there. I probably should have gone around it a bit more, but in real life you can see it a bit better. So I had the idea of just have a bottle sitting in grass, purely and simply. So I was trying to figure out the best place to put it and how much of it to have sticking through the grass. So here's our other foam, which are lower, what's the word, lower height, lower, there's a word for it, but I don't know, forgive me, I don't know what it is. So it's going to be set back a little bit more. So I'm going to trim this off in a little bit, and we're just going to put this happy birthday to you. This is Birthday Greetings by Old to New. This is my current favourite at the moment. I just love all the different birthdays, and I need to branch out and use some other ones. And when I did this, it was late night, one weekend I think it was. And yes, I'm wearing my yellow hoodie because it was the weekend, it was late, and I was cold. So I think there's a lot of videos on here that have me wearing my hoodie. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. It just really needs like a little bit off on the one side, and I decided to even it up and take off a bit on the bottom. We're going to come back through with our Stormy Sky and just soften those edges. So on the whole, that's pretty much it the card's going to be. That's what I mean, like a super simple card. So a bit of blue through it because again, it's the sky, and it is going to sort of fade into the background a little bit. But that was what the idea I had, and I just wanted to give it that little bit of an angle so it's sort of sitting up a little bit more in the grass. We're just going to add a little bit more of the foam dots to give it a bit more, because I'm like, well, why have you only stuck it down the bottom? Because you really could do with some more elsewhere. And the foam dots I've actually made sure on the bottle that I've put them at a different level. Like they're a little bit higher on the bottle, although one's been chopped off there, but you could see that it was a little bit of a different level to the other ones. So it just sort of butted up against the other ones. So we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is just going to be in VersaFine Black Onyx. And it's going to be happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So this is a sort of generic male birthday card. I figured it could be for a birthday because it wasn't all girly and florally and blingy. I will put a bit of Wink Stella on my bottle, and I'm just double checking there that the my sentiment is straight. I'm going to stamp it twice because I was trying to be nice and gentle and careful with it, because you know I always stamp these things after I put the whole thing blooming together. So we're going to mount this up on a bit of black. This is me sort of figuring out what I wanted to do, and the black fitted perfectly. So the feature panel is going to be 14.1 by 9.7, and the black panel is going to be 14.4 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And that's it. That's our card. So a really pretty quick and easy card, you know. Copic, no fussing with the colours. The stencil, that's it. So like and subscribe. This is card for Leslie Bits. All her information will be down in the description box below. A link to my blog will also be there. I'd love if you check over, love if you subscribe and click the bell to be notified. Take care. I hope you have a really great week. Bye.